It's day 10 of trying to build a van in 2.5 weeks. Observant viewers will have noticed that we have skipped 2 days. The last video was for day 7 and this is now for day 10. I had to go away for a weightlifting seminar for 2 days and just wasn't able to film. Luckily, Maddie and Dad did get work done in the van, but they just didn't do very filmable things, and the little footage that Maddie did get just wasn't very usable. So it's okay, you're not missing anything. Moving on to day 10. I have good news and bad news. Good news, I'm back from weightlifting. Bad news, today is the last day we get of RV Repair Dad. He is flying back to where he normally lives today, or tomorrow. But this is the last full day of him we get. So, whilst I understand electrical and actually feel pretty confident about the electrical side of things, he has been the one spearheading this side. So we're gonna try to get him as far in this as we can today. And then he is going to inform me on what his plans are so I can continue on after he leaves. But before we can do any of that, we have to remove these beds so we can drill some holes in the floor to run wires and also get us access to the spare tire, a thing we've been telling ourselves not to forget the whole time. And maybe just do a little bit of paint because we thought we had the right size screws for drilling the bed into the subfloor, that they wouldn't poke through to the floor, and it turns out we were wrong by like
a significant
a significant
they go down enough that they're like scratching the floor, enough that the reason this is popped up is because it's sitting on the heads of those screws or the tails of those screws and not because it's sitting on the ground.
Cool, love that. So we may need to also repaint some of the floor just so we don't get any rust. Yay, let's go, friends. After pulling up the floor and investigating, we think that this hole is our only offender. And the only place where the screw went through and actually hit the floor. Yay! So we're just gonna put a little bit of dicor in there just to like fill her up, coat the exposed metal. And then we're just gonna smush the floor back on top of the dicor and not tell anybody. Shh, this is a secret between you and us, okay?
Acknowledging your youth, and rather than turning it back on you as something that you need to be like apologetic for, feels like someone who's getting in at the beginning of an incredible story.
Oh my God. Dead nuts. Does anyone else there use the term dead nuts? I didn't think it was like a weird term, but maybe I picked it up from my boyfriend who grew up in the Midwest. I said it around my family and it like ended a Zoom call. Not in a bad way, it was just like totally derailed what we were talking about. My family was like, that's not a thing people say. And I was like, it definitely is. I've cut one of these to 6 1/4, and I'm just using it as a guide to measure all the other ones that I need to cut, and double checking about every third that I haven't gotten wildly off track. You know, we try to do our best. Do your best and forget the rest. I think that's kind of our motto for this project. My sister and I were talking last night about building this, and I think part of what made us kind of nervous going in is if you watch videos of people talking about their van build online, they're like, oh, you need to have everything figured out before you start. I need to know like every little piece, because if you could get to the end and wish you had done something different on step 1. And I'm like, once we got into this, maybe it's partially because we're kind of doing like a medium difficulty build. Like it's still looking cute, but like we don't have heat that we need to figure out. We don't have water tanks. She's just gonna have jugs under the sink and like a little foot pump. So I guess we're sort of like in the middle. And maybe some of that stuff you would need to like figure out more. But you know, I think we had it about like 50% figured out before we started. We knew the vibes, we knew like the basic layout, and we're sort of figuring it out as we go. And honestly, that's been okay. You know, it's all undoable, we'll figure it all out. Oh, and if you're new to woodworking and you're wondering why, if I'm measuring a bunch of things that are all the same size, why I'm not measuring them all out at once, the blade itself has a width. So every time you cut, you're losing an amount of wood that's equal to the width of the blade, and that's called the kerf of the blade. And so if I were to measure them all out, on each cut, I would be off by the width of the blade. So I could factor that in and just go measure them all, or I could just do it one at a time. I also could have probably like built out a jig. If I was doing double the amount that I'm doing now, it'd probably be worth it to like try to figure out some stop on here that's the perfect length. But because the back brace on this is pretty short, it'd actually be mildly difficult to do. I'm sure I could figure it out, but this is honestly kind of therapeutic and I've been pretty damn accurate so far. So my takeaway in woodworking, something that my technical director said all the time growing up, is there's like 7 different ways to skin a cat, and just because someone else does it a different way doesn't mean it's wrong. So all of those pieces that I cut are now going to eventually be attached to the sideboards to be the support for the shelves. So there'll be several going all the way down. All right, let's bring in wood. We don't need that on until we get the wood in here. Which way are you going? That's okay. If it has to work too hard, it shuts off. Okay. We're just gonna back up a hair. We're probably just a little out of line and turn the blade. We're gonna try again. All you. With the sides for the bookshelves ripped, we wanted to make sure to drill the access hole for the crank for the spare tire before we forgot and completely covered it up with the beds and couldn't get to it anymore. Maddie was really nervous about drilling this hole for some reason, so she had me do it. And then Maddie got control of my camera.
RV repair woman, why is the gimbal so slow? I just want to see how, get to the hole. There we go. There's the hole for the tire thing.
Is this what all of the shots from this weekend are like? And here's the hole to get to the electrical box. So the electrical wiring is going to sneak down from behind that chair down through one of the crevices and up through this hole. Today's a sad day. We tested if the cables would fit under the floor, and they did. And then we were like, oh, we should put a protective casing around the wires so they don't fray. Once you add the protective casing, it doesn't fit.
Do we want to route a channel for it?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Do you have another solution? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I think I'm hungry. I think it will smush.
I think so too. I think it'll be fun.
Okay. Can you grab the fish tape? Yes, queen. I am made of hunger.
Okay, we'll get into a snack. Just needs a snack, guys. We're losing her.
Yes, Madeline. Yes, queen.
Wait until I get the actual.
Keep going.
Alright.
Cable number 1. On to cable number 2.
We can also take a break and get the snack.
No. I want to finish. Do you remember earlier when I said that you needed to feed me and my entire personality was based on the last time I ate?
She hasn't eaten enough today.
I've definitely digested everything I've eaten. And my feet hurt, and my hands hurt, and I'm hungry. And Maddie doesn't believe in me.
I never said I didn't believe.
Shouldn't believe in my ideas.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do think this is a good idea, but...
See, she doesn't believe in me.
Why are you doing it not with the electrical tape? Brought you electrical tape. I'm a provider.
Of everything but snacks.
Dad got you rice cakes.
He did?
And they are the cheddar ones.
That is a bizarre choice.
So, yeah, he brought them back and I was like, I think she was gonna put peanut butter on them, Dad. And he was like, oh.
Why don't we
Lift up
the f***ing board, which is the whole goddamn reason we're doing this, before we... Oh my god.
It's because you need a snack.
This is the whole reason we're doing this, is we're screwing the board down, Madeline.
Can you lift from your side?
Yeah.
Do this fast, you get your snack.
Oh my god, look how f***ing easy that was.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Maddie, could we not screw in the bed with the fish tape around the leg? Added benefit, not every van gets built-in fish tape.
Mm-hmm. They can only use in this plane. Middle bit.
11. Alright, ignoring the fact that this shot seems wildly off-kilter, akimbo, if you will, we're gonna do a dry fit of these shelves. It's really just for you, to give you a vibe. But also, we don't need it at all. We don't need a reality check if this whole concept is gonna work. Okay. You think this is roughly here? What am I lining up to, Mads? Is the idea that I'm...
At the top, I don't have a marker for you.
Okay. We are somehow wildly off. Okay.
We're still wildly off.
No, we're perfect. Oh my goodness, do you see the vision? I think this is gonna look great, Mads.
I think so too.
So this is gonna get notches and it's gonna slide in so that way it's flush to here. And then this one's at the right height that you're gonna take the small piece of mattress that sits in between on the U-shaped bench and shove it here, and that'll become the back support when you're sitting in bench mode. I was like, this is nice, this is nice.
Well, I was worried that
it would immediately...
it doesn't squish much this way. At least it doesn't.
But it's still comfortable.
No, yes, definitely comfortable.
Okay, so here's where we're at the end of day 10. Looks very similar to where we were at 3 days ago, but I promise a lot has happened. It just doesn't look it, which is not frustrating, but just every project has that point, and we're at that point with this project. So we do have the sides for the shelves figured out, and we figured out the logistics of the shelves, and we're gonna build the shelves tomorrow. We were kind of hoping we'd be done with the shelves today, but we're gonna figure them out tomorrow, and that's gonna be okay. We're definitely getting, if not close on time, we're now feeling the time, which we weren't really feeling before. Follow to see if we make it.